Hi and welcome to my midnight posting. I recently wrote an article on Substack about creativity, spirituality, and the idea of a white man god. So, I just would like to talk about what creativity and spirituality means to me. I did finish The Artist's Way by Julia Cameron, a very popular book, needless to say, which um, kind of makes you sign up for this 12-week journey where you get in touch with your creative part of yourself. And it also kind of highlights how creativity and spirituality are kind of intertwined with one another, and I agree with that idea of spirituality more than any other form of spirituality, because I feel like both creativity and spirituality kind of ask you to come back to yourself, connect with yourself, and know yourself better. And I feel like it's even more relevant in this day and age when we are kind of being imposed upon with this sedentary lifestyle and a disconnected way of living with mindless scrolling, mindless everything, kind of. And it uh, it actually helps the system to profit off of you the more disconnected you are from yourself. And this is why this book, I feel, has been more relevant today and has gotten a bit more popular in the creative sphere of the internet. And the more I try to work with myself and work on myself to allow my creative side to come out naturally, these thoughts have been coming up in my mind. And this idea of a white man god has kind of been this opposing duality of the spiritual creativity that I have been talking about. So, in no way or form, this is a colonial critique or like a academic report, because I feel like I'm quite casual in my Substack article as well. I mentioned something from The Wretched of the Earth, um, but I like to keep the tone casual on Substack, and I just want to talk about from a day-to-day practical point of view how I'm trying to lead my life. And so this uh, kept coming up because whenever someone asks you if you believe in God, um, we unconsciously somewhere just associate this image of God with, firstly, a human figure, secondly, a man, and thirdly, a white man at that. And even though a whole lot of humankind does not follow monotheistic religion, uh, the way of the modern world has been the ways of the Western world, which Frantz Fanon actually talks about in The Wretched of the Earth. And this way of the Western world, even though there is plenty of discourse around if Jesus was brown, we associate the epitome of human success, epitome of wealth, money, power with an old white man. And in this day and age, this becomes even more relevant, uh, how we have kind of given away a form of unconditional servitude to these men, have given away our attention, our power, just for them to profit off of us. And in awe of the idea of uh, creative spirituality, where it kind of makes you pull your attention back to yourself and not in the way of this corporate package self-care kind of a way, but uh, asks you to come back to yourself in a way where you can get in touch with that inner voice, with that authenticity, where you can allow your creative side to come up, to come out, and create, actually bring that change that needs to be brought out. Build the systems that help you in the more day-to-day, uh, in a more day-to-day point of view. And that's what I'm actually talking about, because I also feel like it brings up a lot of frustration and anger around uh, people who like to be cynical about the world. And being cynical has always been cool, right? Like people who kind of give away their power to these quote unquote white men god figures, and then complain about the system and the world and do nothing but sit on the sidelines when they could be making a change. But obviously there's like a lot more to say on that. And I feel like, as someone who still has at least a few many years to live, I cannot live that sort of life. And optimism is seen as naive. And if you are someone who wants to bring some kind of a change, you will be infantilized, you will be patronized, you will be whatever. And just to keep your hopes up, you have to look stupid. And that's that. So that's all about the spiritual creativity and the idea of a white man god. And I'll be back with more. Bye bye.